Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into the Card Closet. Got another episode for you here. This is episode 466. We'll start off with our mystery card of the day, and this is going to be a man with 466 career doubles. And I'm going to give you a hint. He was also our mystery man in episode 419 because he had 419 career stolen bases. So let's see if you can get him 47 episodes later. And I will try to use different clues this time. So, all right, this guy was, his rookie card is considered to be 1933 Gaudi. And that's because a lot of the cards in the 1920s are not considered rookie cards. And so he did appear, his first card that he appears on was in 1920. It was a W519 strip card. And throughout the 20s, he was a regular in Carmel issues, both American and National Carmel, I believe. And he was on a number of exhibits cards. After the 33 Gaudi, he was on the 1934 Gaudi. He was on the 1934 through 36 batter-ups. He was on the 34 through 36 National Chickles. And he was in the 1940 play ball set as a manager. He played in 8 World Series in his 19 seasons. 4 World Series with the New York Giants, going 2 wins and 2 losses in those World Series. And then 4 more World Series with the St. Louis Cardinals, also winning 2 and losing 2. Played second base his whole career. He is a Hall of Famer. He was the National League MVP in 1931. And he took part in the first 3 ever All-Star games. The first and second as a player, and the third as a manager player, but he didn't put himself into the game. Hit the first ever home run in All-Star game competition. That's a repeat clue. He's one of these guys from the 20s and 30s that got oh so close to 3,000 hits. 2,880 to be exact. 105 home runs, 1,200 RBIs. Did you get him? Do you remember him from before? It's the same card. It's the only playing day card I have of the man. Frankie Frisch. And this is his 1934 Gaudi card. So he's our mystery man of the day. Going to set him aside, though. He's not going to watch the proceedings from on camera. He'll be off camera watching. So today, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to show you my coin collection. I have an old friend from high school that I've reconnected with, and he is a big buyer or a collector of coins, especially silver and gold. Sounds like he's a pretty big time guy. He's done very well for himself. And he's coming over tomorrow to check out my coin collection. I'd like to sell it. To be honest with you, I'd like to sell it. I'm not really into coins anymore. And I would, if I could sell it all in one fell swoop for a good price, that would be desirable to me. So I can turn that cash into cards. So here we go. I'm going to start off with bigger denominations, and I'll kind of work my way down. So we're going to start with Eisenhower Dollars. When I was a collector, I got these, I think these are Franklin is the name of the brand of these, maybe. Of these books. Oh, Dansko. All right. So Eisenhower Dollars. It's a little bit of a write-up on them there, but they started being printed in 1971, and they went through 1978. So, not sure how best to show coins. Going to get a little glare on their faces here, but The 1971 with a plain, no mint mark after it, is from Philadelphia. 1971 with a D is Denver Mint, and S is San Francisco Mint. So 1971, got all three there. 1972, I got all three. And then in 1973, they started making... Oh, no, I don't have all three. Those were empty. Okay, so the S's were made out of silver. So you had to get the S's in separate silver packs, I guess. What's this say? Silver dollar, uncirculated silver dollar. I just never had the heart to break this out and put it in the hole. So that's the 1971 S. You can tell a coin is silver by the edge. You can tell it by dropping it and listening to the sound it makes too, but the edge does not have the pancake look to it, like clad coins do. So that's 1971. $1972, same thing. Bought the silver uncirculated. This 1973 one here, it's also uncirculated. So let me know in the comments if you collect Eisenhower dollars. I think they're pretty cool. Then we get down to 1974 and the S here. Also an uncirculated one made out of silver. I think they're like 90% silver. And then I don't think there was anything for 1975, but 1976 had these different varieties, and it has to do with the back, with the bell on the back for the bicentennial. And then some of the variety differences, I think, were in the font of the lettering. But it's been too long ago since I paid attention to that. And then the 76S, it's also in one of these uncirculated sets. Since it's the bicentennial set, it comes in a red envelope. And it's actually got a bicentennial quarter made out of silver, silver dollar, and a half dollar, all made out of silver. You can tell by looking at the edge. And it's got those alternate backs: Drummer Boy, Liberty Bell, Independence Hall. And then 77, 78, they didn't do the silvers anymore. So they're just standard Ike dollars. All right, let's move to the piece dollars. These are kind of dusty. I dug them out of my closet. Not my card closet. I guess it's my coin closet. All right, so these are the piece dollars with 1921 through 1935, but with a lot of years in the middle that they didn't make them. They call them, the rare ones, the ones with the low mintages, are called key dates. And so 1921, I believe, has the second key date. These are made out of pure silver. Well, I don't know if they're pure silver. It's either 99 or 90%. Oh, here we go. 90% silver, 10% copper. But a lot of people that are into coins collect these old piece dollars. I never did get the whole run. I guess on this page I did. Some of these, look really, really nice. Coin grading is similar to card grading in that you're looking for clarity and stuff like that. But the difference is that the coins tend to rub down, whereas a card is flat. So that coin right there is really rubbed down. That would be a much lower grade than that one, for example. Let's go to page 2. Let me know in the comments if you are a collector of peace dollars. 1928 is the key date. That one was by far the lowest mintage. I remember buying that in Sioux Falls. There was an old coin shop on 18th and Grange, right across from Sanford Hospital. It's not there anymore now. It got bought out by the hospital and tore down. But I paid $140 for that about 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I remember that. So I never got the 27D, and I never got the 34S. This book shows the mintages of each. So you can look right there, the 1928, only 360,000 of those made. So, and my friend says he likes peace dollars, so we'll see what he thinks about those. And I had a couple other peace dollars that I just found randomly here. Well, I'll just show them this way. So these are doubles, I guess you call them. Using baseball card terminology on coins here. So not too bad. I mean, just, for an ounce of silver, it's got value alone just in bullion weight, I think they call it. All right, let's go to Morgan dollars. So Morgan also features Lady Liberty, but maybe a little different Lady Liberty. These were before the peace dollars. They ended in 1921. And they look like that. I should show you the back of a peace dollar. Forgot to show you back. It says peace on the bottom, down on the bottom edge there. American Eagle there, holding the olive branch for peace. I never got into the Morgan dollars, like trying to collect the whole run. But I did just, end up with some. I think that the ones I have here came from my grandfather. This one, you can't even hardly read it. It's 1889, maybe. And the thing with these coins is that they're not, here's 1894. They're not necessarily worth more because they're older. A lot of it really does have to do with how many were minted. Oh, here's another Eisenhower. See the sandwich look on the edge of that coin? There we go. See how it changes color halfway up the edge of the coin? That means it's not silver. But as you can see with these Morgan dollars, that's silver. So I'm guessing they're 90% like the peace dollars. But yeah, when my grandpa died, he had a bunch of coins that were found in one of his, like a sock drawer or something like that. And my brother and I got to divvy them out. All right. Let's go to Kennedy half dollars. So this is a big collection here. I'm kind of getting everything organized. I got a lot of coins off camera here, but the Kennedy half dollars, big book. It's a big set. It started in 1964 and runs through to today. The 1964s are silver. I think it's 1965 through 1969 are 40% silver. So a big drastic cut, but still people try to get those because of the silver content. And then since 1971, I think, they've just been clad or just non-silver coins like we have today. But this one, these are pretty reasonable to go after. Looks like there's 2 from every year, a Philadelphia mint and a Denver mint. And this I did complete. So let me know in the comments if you're a Kennedy half-dollar collector. I'm not sure if my friend will have interest in the coins that aren't silver or not. But, you know, they all look the same. The book ran out in 2007. You can see the backs of them there. You're all probably familiar with 50-cent pieces. And the book ran out in 2007, but I kept the collection going. And I actually used these little baseball card holders. You know, something I got a chunk of baseball cards in, so I used these. And I kept going with the Kennedys. Here's the 1964 silver, so that's why I've got this one set aside. But then I started putting them in these capsules. So think of these capsules as top loaders. So 69, so that one is 40% silver. And then we get into the more modern ones here. 2016. I won't show all these, but just to show you that I've kept the thing going. Here's a 2017. 2017 Denver Mint. I'm not going to go into where you see the mint marks on all these. 16. Here's a 68, so it looks like I'm anything with partial silver that I have been keeping too. Here's 2015. So maybe it was 2017 when I started keeping up on these. They're easy to do. You just go on eBay. Here's a 69. You go on eBay and you just search for Kennedy half-dollars and then the year you want. And I think, you know, for like $2, I could get these every year and just stay up to date. So those are the Kennedy halves. And they're cool. I like Kennedy half-dollars. They're about the perfect size. Quarters are a little bit too small for me. All right, let's go. Before Kennedy dollars, before Kennedy half-dollars, we had Franklin half-dollars. And I'm sure you've probably seen these around. These are made out of silver. It says 90% silver, 10% copper. So these have value more than 50 cents just for the silver content that's in them. I never did quite put the whole set together. Here's a 1951, which I got graded. This is a company called PCI. I don't know if that's a good one or not. I don't know if it's like with baseball cards where you've got PSA snobs and you've got SGC snobs. You know, maybe PCI, maybe there's people that want all their coins to match and they have to all be graded. Maybe they all come in holders like this, or maybe ANAX, I remember being another one that's popular. So that's the one that would go right there. So it looks like I never got some of the 52s and 53s. And these were printed through 1963, and then Kennedy picked up in 64. So I wasn't too far from completing this. They started in 1948. So again, let me know who's a collector of Franklin half-dollars. Pretty easy set to collect. There are no really key dates that are a lot rarer than any other one. And you can get them in pretty nice, shiny condition for pretty reasonable price. So those are my Franklin halves. Might be my Franklin have-nots set tomorrow at this time if he wants them all. Let's move on to Saka Jai Dollars. So again, I'm using one of these 50 card holders here. Saka Jai Dollars. I still think they make them to this day. I'm not exactly sure. But every year on the back, there's a different picture, but you're probably familiar with that front. The thing about these is that the year is printed on the edge of the coin. And I don't know if we're going to be able to see it, but you can kind of see if there's stuff printed on the, I think the "In God We Trust." No, that's on the front yet. There's other stuff on the side here too. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, these Saka Jai started many years ago, and then they kind of went away for a while. So this one has an eagle on the back. Eagle on the back. Some kind of either arrows or wheat with a ribbon around them, signifying something. So it looks like there's a Philadelphia and a Denver of each year, and each year has a slightly different picture on the back. Somebody looks like harvesting corn or maize. Here we've got somebody holding a peace pipe, it looks like. Can't really tell what's going on there. But again, I collected these. I got the Denver and the Philadelphia every year. There's a wolf howling. That's pretty cool looking. Turtle. Turkey. Pretty nice. Here's a peace pipe being passed between two people. So I think these Saka Jais can kind of go underneath can sneak by underneath our noses if you're not really paying attention. It looks like these are all eagles. Let's see if I can find any other ones that are cool on the back. Yeah, it looks like all the early years were eagles. That same eagle picture. And again, they've got capsules that are, you know, tailor-made to the size of the coins. Something we don't see in the baseball card world. Not that I want to refer to oddball cards. It's got a lot of press lately. But, you know, can you imagine them making top loaders for every single size of card that's ever been made? You kind of just got to do the best you can. So, again, these probably are only worth $1 at the store. You know, if you go in, you can still buy something with these. I think I've heard there's machines like at laundromats and stuff that still operate on these dollar coins. These are not made out of gold, even though they kind of look it. No real value to these other than face value. All right. You don't need to watch me put these away. I'll make better effort with that later. Let's get into my favorite ones, my favorite coins. And these will be the American Silver Eagles. I used to pick up one of these every year. And then I stopped doing those. So get these out. I just think these are some of the most beautiful coins ever made. They're the refractors of coins. So here's 2018. Got Lady Liberty walking in front of the sun there. Here's what the back is. 1 ounce of fine silver. So a lot of people that invest in silver will do so by buying many, many, many American Eagles. So there aren't multiple mint marks with these. There's just one per year. I forget what mint they're all from. But they're pretty cool. They're my favorite. I think they're beautiful. And some of them you can tell that maybe I did not handle with a white glove because there's a little bit of discoloration starting. But anyway, I got this whole row of them. Let me know if you collect American Eagles. Here's something here that doesn't quite fit. What is it? Oh, it's an American Eagle in a Dwight Eisenhower dollar sized capsule. So, love those. Love those. Those I'm sure my friend will be interested in. All right, let me know if you collect silver eagles. Now, if you're my age, you remember when you were a kid that they came out with these dollar coins that were the size of a quarter, and they kept getting confused with quarters. And they were the Susan B. Anthony's. And you can see that they are the size of a quarter, and even though the design makes them look like they're not round, they are actually round. And I think they made them for 3 years, and 79, 80, and 81, and I got all 3 mints for all 3 of those years. And then they 1999, they came back with them for like 1 year. They came back with them, and as if, you know, we didn't get enough of them the first time, and we didn't learn our lesson. You know, people were putting these in video games. That's, you know, that's the age when you put a quarter into an arcade game and play a game. And these were getting confused with quarters. So I won't show you the rest of them. They're all the same, just a different year on them. All right, this one is kind of a random things of interest. Got some silver, American Silver Eagles. This one's from 2012. Got some of those in there. 2001, 2017. So looks like 17 was maybe the year I stopped picking everything up. But then here's some South Dakota specific stuff. So I don't know if you guys remember the state coins, state quarters. This is a silver proof of the South Dakota quarter. And you can tell it's a proof by the frosty look of the face and the print, compared to a regular quarter. See the frosty look that the one has and the other one doesn't? That's how you can tell it's a proof, because it's double struck. And then a couple years later, when they were done with the states, they went through all the states again and made quarters of a monument or a famous site in each state. In 2013, they got around to Mount Rushmore. Yes, and this is also the silver proof quarter. One thing that the mint does, I didn't even know about this until I got into coin collecting. These are legit currency, but they make these commemorative coins. And in 1991, they made a silver $50 with Mount Rushmore on it. And buffalo on the front. South Dakota has a lot of buffalo roaming free out west. And then a silver dollar for the same thing. Looks like it's the golden anniversary of Mount Rushmore National Memorial. This one obviously has been touched by fingers and that weren't wearing white gloves. So I think those are cool. But I'm ready to part with them. I'm ready to get some cooler cards. All right, let's see. Let's go a little. Oh man, we're at 29 minutes. Appreciate you sticking with me. Got a whole stack of proof sets. And the reason I got into these, I don't know if you guys remember, in 1999, that's the year that the state quarters started. So I got myself a mint proof set of every year that the quarters were produced. There were 5 quarters every year for 10 years. This was year number 1. It's got Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, Georgia. And then the next year, they did the next 5 states. I think they went in the order that the states were admitted to the Union. So here's 2000, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Hampshire, Virginia, and South Carolina. This picture here, Old Man of the Mountain, was chosen as New Hampshire's image, and I've heard that since then that face has crumbled off the mountain. It's no longer there. So that's too bad. But it is immortalized in coinage for all time. Here was 2002. Getting a little further west now. I got Tennessee and Idaho and Louisiana, Mississippi, Indiana. Should be shouting people out in all these states if I can think of who you are. 2003. Illinois, Alabama, Maine, Missouri, Arkansas. Again, you can see these are proofs by the frostiness of the images, the frostiness of the George Washington heads. Proof coins are worth more than circulated coins, but none of these here have a tremendous amount of value. They produced millions of these things. So 2004, we've got Michigan, Florida, Texas, Iowa, and Wisconsin. So the fronts always look the same. Let me know in the comments if you were into these state quarters. Another way to get them was to get them circulated and then buy a map where you could punch them in. Another thing about these proof sets I haven't been showing, but they do have all the denominations of coins in that frosty proof. So, you know, there's Saka Jai, the new Jefferson nickels when they came out. They look pretty nice. They're really cool. Let's see who we had in 2005 here. We've got California, so we jumped way west, Minnesota, Oregon, Kansas, West Virginia. (2006) Looks like I got 2 from 2006. I'm not sure how that happened. Oh, because it's South Dakota, that's why. Nevada, Nebraska, Colorado, North Dakota, and South Dakota. They've got buffalo or bison on the North Dakota one too. That chimney something they call that, Chimney Rock in Nebraska, that got hit by lightning since this quarter was made, and it lost, I forget how many feet, a couple dozen feet were blown off by lightning. Maybe the weatherman guy out there in western Nebraska can tell us for sure about that. Here's 2007. We got Montana, Washington, Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming. As the country moves west. Also in 2007, they started the presidential dollars. So the proof set for 2007 had the presidential dollars as well as the state quarters that were still finishing up. I love that proof finish, matte finish to these. And they did these in order. So the first 4 presidents: Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison. Let's see. Then these aren't, these don't have boxes. So and again, I think the year on these is on the edge of the coin. So I'll just read them off. Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor. That's a little bit of a gap from the last one we did. Chester Arthur, Grover Cleveland, Benjamin Harrison, and Grover Cleveland back again. Here we've got Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, James Garfield. Going to show that in a little bit. Here's 2010. Looks like I got a little bit less organized here. Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln. Look at those eyes. There we go. I wonder if might have had some years I didn't get these. This says 2015. Oh, it looks like I just put multiples in the same box. There, okay, there, now I know why we're missing some. These are getting a little bit more close to modern day now. Warren Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt. After him came Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson. And then the last one, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, and Ronald Reagan. They stopped with Reagan because I learned that they do not make coins with living people on them. So at this time, Bush, the older Bush, was still living, so he did not get on one. And maybe they made one for him after he passed. I guess I kind of stopped doing these, so I don't know for sure if they did or not. Might be worth looking into. And then there is this box. This is all stuff that I inherited from my father-in-law. This is his collection, and he had all these miscellaneous sets. 97, 96. I'm not going to open all these. 1970. He was an opportunistic buyer. Looks like another one for $6. He was an opportunistic buyer. If he saw something for a good price, he got it. And he didn't worry about, getting, everything. What is this? Oh, 96. He didn't worry about having a full set, or, if he saw one in the garage sale or something, he'd get it. 1988. 1991. So these, of course, are before. Oh. Well, this is misplaced. And what's this? Oh, I thought that was some money. Must be the person I bought these from. I bet you these were just shipped in a random box. So here we have William McKinley, Teddy Roosevelt, Howard Taft, William Howard Taft, and Woodrow Wilson. So I wonder if some of these other ones... Oh no, that's a legit 1988 set. Here you had an uncirculated set from 2002. These are uncirculated sets. A lot of people pick these up every year. They're not proof or anything. Here's an uncirculated set from 1970. Not proof, but the $50 is silver. Quarter is not. You can see that pancake look there. A lot of this stuff in here is just random. He just Bought these holders and just put the pennies in there and stapled them up himself. Put them in a binder. Here's a proof set from 1973. Make sure it's the real deal. Interesting. Okay, that's a little different that year. 1973. All right, moving on through here. Thanks for sticking with me. It looks like just some random coins that maybe he intended to cardboard up and he never got around to it. All right, looks like he had some paper money as well. I know that he had a whole bunch of $2 bills that we cashed in and split between our kids. And here's some older $2 bills, I guess. It's a silver certificate, $1 bill. A couple Canadian dollar bills. Shout out to our Canadian friends. You're finally represented. And $50 Federal Reserve note from 1930. Oh, I looked it up earlier. It's a series of 34. Last one of these sold for $100. And I don't know if they use the terms raw with dollar bills with paper money like they do baseball cards, but just like with baseball cards, if you can get the coins or the bills graded, they're worth more. All right, now we're going to get down to the small ones here, Lincoln cents. So what I did is I combined my collection with my father-in-law's collection, and because I collected pennies as a kid. So some of these are going to be full and some of them are going to be partially full because I took them out and put them in mine. This one goes beyond. This one goes beyond. Got a bunch of Canadian pennies. When I was a kid, I used to think that was cool to get a Canadian penny. And growing up with one state between me and Canada, we did get Canadian coins in change from the store quite a bit. This one is 1941 through 1974. Let me know in the comments if you collect pennies. Of course, 1943 was steel pennies. We were in the middle of World War II and all the copper was needed on warships. And the things that you need for war. I used to have these Eisenhower dollars in here, but I put them in that brown book. Here's the other one from 1941 to 1974. And again, I don't know if my friend will want all these. A lot of these are full from my end and from my father-in-law's end. More steel pennies. Wheat pennies. These would be wheat pennies if you're familiar with those terms, because it's got wheat on the back rather than the Lincoln Memorial. And then here's the really old stuff. This one got scavenged out of by me. That was his, I think. And I put it into here. Oh no, this one was his. So this one I probably showed you many videos back, a couple years back. I made a deal. I traded some vintage coins for some vintage cards. This book was full at one time, except for the little holes where you can see the writing, because my father-in-law had written in the ones he didn't need. He still had to get and how much they would be. So this whole book was full except for 3 coins. So between he and I, we had all the pennies except for 3. And even a couple years ago, I kind of knew I was going to phase out of coin collecting, so I traded those. I ran into a guy that would trade coins for cards, and so we made that deal. And lastly, this I remember as a little kid would tuck up in the edge on the edge of the cupboard in the kitchen, and it's where I kept my money. My mom wrote Eric's money on there, and all it's got in it right now are some $2 bills. So $10 there. Maybe I'll spend it at the store tomorrow. As a kid, we always, $2 bills were so unique that we always kind of wondered if they'd be worth something, but they're not. I think if you want to buy one on eBay, you got to pay more than $2, but they're just not. And then, I guess I said finally already once, but finally again, my mother-in-law's birth year is 1943. This is filled up to about here with 1943 steel pennies. So I won't get them out, but she, over the years, every time she saw one, because they were steel and they were unique, pulled them out and got quite a bit. All right, guys, 45 minutes. I am so sorry. Wanted to capture this collection before it gets broken up and might possibly leave the premises tomorrow. So thank you. Let me know if you made it all the way through. Really appreciate that. I know that a lot of people that collect cards also collect coins. I can think of Collectorholic for sure. Shows coins from time to time. And I think there's a few other people too. But anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate you for sticking around this long. Hope you like that change of pace. Talk to you later. Bye.